Welcome to the City Rooster Forum. I'm Ken Kasner, and today we're going to talk about too many lawyers. That's our key phrase, too many lawyers. Lawyers and everything. Lawyers are not necessary for everything. It's overdone, and lawyers have, over time, created lots of problems. Too many lawsuits. Too many things done to show that lawyers create a lot of trouble. First, we're going to get into our corporate lawyers. Corporate lawyers, well, they don't help people, they help corporations. If you know somebody personally that is a corporate lawyer, you can see that because they don't have as much of an interest in their families as people who are not corporate lawyers. Because they are interested in corporations, they don't pay attention as much to people. Maybe even possibly their own children. It's all different from family to family. So you can see this. And a lot of times, corporate lawyers will help corporations no matter how corrupt they are. Corporate lawyers help fight antitrust laws and jurisprudence laws. These laws were created to keep our companies in check. So competition is good. But we don't need to go swallowing up that competition. We don't need to go merging so much. We have too many mergers. Too many mergers as it is. And what happens with these mergers is that they make huge, gigantic companies that are unstoppable. Google is an example. Microsoft is an example. Facebook. If they become too big, then they can start to do what they want. So the fact that they're unstoppable makes them that they don't even respect their competition. They don't respect their customers. They don't respect anybody. Now we're going to go on to the injury lawyers. Injury lawyers do not really care about injury. They want everybody to be injured and everybody can sue. All these frivolous lawsuits. Some people get hurt, some people don't. Lawyers don't care. Injury lawyers will make it so that everybody can sue and get as much money as they can. Lawyers try to encourage people. Why work? Why go out and work? All you have to do is sue them. Get money under your belt. Sue for disability. Some people have disabilities, other people don't. But when you see all these advertisements for disability lawyers, you know that they're out there for blood. We call them ambulance chasers, but they do more than just chase ambulances. They chase everybody. They're trying to create havoc for their own bottom line. Now, the bottom line originally, many decades ago, was considered the exchange of money for goods and services. Now, the bottom line is just money. You don't hear about the exchange for goods and services part anymore. You just say they're just trying to make a bottom line, their money. Most people that become lawyers because they just want money. Okay, so they feed their families, they feed their children, they feed their wives or their husbands or what have you. Many lawyers don't care about other people. They don't care about anybody that they don't know. Other people that they don't know are garbage. And too many people want to sue. We have commercial musicians suing other commercial musicians. After being together for so long, now a lawyer has to get involved. And most commercial musicians that have been involved in a lawsuit with other commercial musicians that they've been with for a long time have hard feelings about each other, spread bad publicity. They don't care because then the lawyers have gotten their money and they've been out of the picture for a while. Lawyers don't care about the damage they do. Most lawyers care about criminals and violent criminals more so than law-abiding citizens. And all these law-abiding citizens have to suffer because of laws against them that they've had to face that violent criminals don't follow. There are many violent criminals that are shooting or killing or taking a knife to, or driving a truck that they're not supposed to drive, and killing people on the road. A lot of car accidents, or car crashes as we should really call them, because lawyers will protect them every time, even if they go pro bono. Pro bono is used with people that have plenty of money but just don't want to spend it. The welfare system exists because of lawyers, because of progressive lawyers. Lawyers were supposed to honor the Constitution and support the Constitution, but they're supporting the progressive movement a lot more. People confuse criminal lawyers and think that this is the 14th Amendment, that in the 14th Amendment you have the right to due process. And as true as that is, they confuse that with trying to make every criminal innocent and every law-abiding citizen guilty. That's not due process. The whole purpose of due process is so that we have justice and that we can determine who's guilty and who's innocent, and make guilty people pay for their crimes, and make guilty people get punished and disciplined for their crimes, while law-abiding citizens go free. Law-abiding citizens, people who follow the law, who deserve to have a happy life and don't deserve to be treated like a criminal. But lawyers mix it all up and confuse the government. Another bad thing lawyers do? Lawyers help take government money, use government subsidies, and put it to work for people who are not entitled to it, or don't need it, or don't plan on using it at all. Many government subsidies have been used for services that are not rendered, services that are not for the benefit of who they say they're for, or they even just get sent out overseas. Lawyers help with that. That can't be done without lawyers. Lawyers have a hand in a lot of the corruption and a lot of the crime that takes place today. Many lawyers themselves are criminals. They're the ones that invented the slogan, if you don't get caught, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it if you don't get caught. That's what lawyers will tell people. Lawyers have gotten hardened criminals off every single time. Now, there are legitimate lawyers and lawyers that try to help the community, try to help kids, try to help families. But those lawyers don't get treated as well. They don't win as many cases as lawyers helping criminals or helping a bad cause. So now today, there's a bigger difference between moral and legal than there was, say, 50 years ago. And we just can't seem to overcome that. If we do something to suppress the lawyers, we could be a lot better off. Here's some things. We could get rid of all 501c nonprofit status organizations. Let these organizations pay for themselves. If they're really legit, let them pay for themselves. Many of them are not what they think, and a lot of them podcasters advertise because they actually believe that these organizations are really as legit as they say they are. Most of them are not. Maybe less than 10% of them are. Lawyers help them out to get to where they are. Let's get rid of all subsidized funding for things that people don't need. For example, let's get rid of all the subsidies for SSI. Let's get rid of all Medicaid. Let's just keep Social Security for retirement and disability, and help the retired and disabled who have actually worked in this country. No more helping people that are fully able that don't need it. Let those people go out and work. No more welfare. No more welfare what it is. Who does welfare really benefit? People try to come up with the excuse, oh, we're such a generous country. Oh, we're just wonderful. oh, we just do all these beautiful things and we try to help people. But unfortunately, we're not helping people. We're just being a sucker for those people. Matter of fact, lawyers fight for these cases where we should send money overseas to help other countries. We send money and arms, and we think we're the world's policeman. We're not. We're the world's sucker. And lawyers have helped to make this possible. We have had a big breakdown in law and order because lawyers have gone out there and reinterpreted the Constitution for their own personal advantage or the personal advantage of other criminals. Now, this may seem like a tangent, but it all works together. It all comes together. Lawyers do these things because they're only there for the money. Most of them are just there for money. They're not there to be productive. They're not there to help produce. Now, for people who don't know, the difference between a lawyer and a paralegal is that a paralegal can't assess retainment. They can't appear before a judge. And they can't give legal advice. So they do research. That's the difference. A lot of people are confused about that. But that's what it is. So these lawyers that have these three advantages do just that. And they go on vacation, and then they come back from vacation, and then they just have a very, very easy life. They actually don't write letters themselves. They recite it into a tape recorder, and then a secretary types it up, or some sort of machine, depending on how much artificial intelligence has interfered. We don't really know at this point. They do phone calls. They appear before a judge. Sometimes they'll even say to a judge, Your Honor, this date is not good for me, so if we have a return date, can we do it on this date that's for me? And the judge will accommodate the lawyer. Many times, judges who are mostly now progressive, there's mostly progressive judges, not too many constitutional judges anymore, will accommodate these corrupt lawyers. Most of the corrupt members of Congress, U.S. Congress, or even state Senate, okay, most of the corrupt ones, were lawyers, because corruption is well taught in law school. Now, we don't actually need law school because it's the bar that makes you an attorney. How does somebody learn the things that you need to do to pass on a bar? Well, you can become somebody's apprentice. You can become an already experienced lawyer's apprentice. That's what Abraham Lincoln did, and he was a very honest man. He did a lot of honest things. He was one of our best presidents. And that's what a lot of people did in that day. It was an apprenticeship. It did basically help somebody learn about the law, about the Constitution, and then they just take the bar. Law schools indoctrinate their students just the way all other colleges and specialty schools do. They indoctrinate them. So we don't even know what they're teaching them, and there's no investigation for it. Matter of fact, there's not much of an investigation for anything anymore, but there's an announcement of an investigation. Lawyers can actually do that to get their clients off. Many clients now are people that were wrongly arrested, because now the FBI doesn't really do much work anymore in investigating, even though they stand for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and they announce an investigation, but none happens, or very few times does it happen. And then that makes it easy for a defense attorney. So defense attorneys, they just want to get their client off. They have misinterpreted due process. And that's what happens nowadays. And that's another reason why lawyers are so bad for this country. We call them lawyers. We can call them attorneys. But they're not the lawyers and attorneys that, per se, I grew up with. Many of them are not very smart. Many of them don't know very much. I have a brother who's an attorney. He doesn't know very much about the law, but he's now an experienced lawyer in his field, and he's even talking about teaching. Well, look what's happening with that. What are these lawyers teaching? They're teaching their version of finance, their version of how to handle money. We don't know what those lawyers are teaching other lawyers. We don't know because business has gone so bad in this country, so they're obviously not teaching them anything good. Elon Musk is a businessman, and he's not a lawyer. Now, supposedly now he's a trillionaire. How did he make so much money? He didn't make a lot of money sitting around. He didn't make a lot of money just doing corrupt things. He didn't make any money through scandals and inside trading in the stock market like some other people have. He actually made it doing business. He knew about business. He should be teaching the business that the lawyers teach. Okay? What he's actually doing with his time, we're not sure. But he's certainly making money the old-fashioned way. And a lot of people could learn from that. If people want to be rich, okay, there's two ways to be rich: the corrupt way and the honest way, working for the money. Many people who are rich have made money by working for it or who have earned it. Other people just do corrupt things, insider trading, taking bribes. And they take a lot more bribes than we know about, because if we knew about them, they would be caught. They're never caught. And if they're caught, well, they got a lawyer. A lawyer will get them off. A lawyer will prove that that bribe was legitimate, or that they didn't actually technically take a bribe, or they're just going to look for some loophole in the Constitution. Loopholes were meant to be fixed, not to be entered through. We were supposed to fix it. That's why we have the amendment system, to try to sew up loopholes so that lawyers couldn't take advantage of them. But this is what's happening, and it's happening all the time. And we just don't have any way of being able to fix it. Now that we have so many corrupt people, we can't reverse it. Just too many people out there getting engaged in the legal system. And people want to confuse politics with who knows what. I always say politics is another noun version of the word policy, which means leadership. Lawyers are a group of people that try to make people forget about that. People think that politics is just some sort of game. They get politics confused with political drama. Well, lawyers are part of the reason why, because a lot of people are afraid now to speak up. So basically they say, oh, I'm not going to get involved with it. I don't want to talk politics. I don't want to talk religion. I just want to talk about the cigarettes I smoke, or who knows what. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I could be sued for it. People even just scare people by saying that they're going to sue them. Well, of course, some lawyer advised them of that. Sometimes just pulling a scare tactic on somebody causes them to make a second choice about their action. And sometimes they get free advice from lawyers who will hold them to pro bono and send them bills. Lawyers are even helping out collection agencies. Collection agencies have attorneys to go after people if they don't have enough money to pay this. Well, just follow our payment plan and pay us every year for the rest of your life, and we'll be good, and we won't get a lawyer after you. A lot of people do that. And it's an absolute disgrace. It's screwing up our system. It's screwing up our constitutional republic. And it's a big part of what makes us a divided country. Lawyers turning people against other people. Even marriage counselors. I don't ever remember seeing a marriage saved by a marriage counselor. As far as I know, every marriage that has gone to a marriage counselor has ended up in divorce. And that is because marriage counselors are in the business of helping people to decide to divorce, because they get references from lawyers and they refer those people to lawyers. So a marriage counselor may see the couple 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times, 6 times, who knows how many times. And then after a while, they take the side of either the husband or the wife. Even gay marriages have ended up in divorce because of this. And then they refer them to attorneys and pretend that they are on their side. Many marriage counselors will actually tell the same husband and the same wife they see separately, "Oh, I'm on your side. I think they're wrong and you're right, and I want to get you a good lawyer." That's after maybe a half a dozen sessions together, they see them apart. As soon as they see them apart, you know that they're holding a double standard. And double standards are another measurement of law that lawyers practice. They'll pretend that they're on your side. What about all plea bargains? Plea bargains were not created for the purpose of trying to get people off. They're not created for the purpose of punishing people. They're created for the purpose of making money. When somebody does a plea bargain, lawyers make money. You have to pay the lawyer if you plea bargain because you agree to this discipline. You agree to this punishment. But yet, the plea bargain is a compromise. A plea bargain is very rarely justice. You don't have justice with plea bargains. You just have basically a judge saying, well, I'll punish you, but not as bad as I would want to. And the person is getting off is saying, well, it could do better than this, but I'll take this punishment because I don't want to go to jail for longer. A plea bargain is just like in poker. You either have a good hand or you don't have a good hand. You either fold or you play. And that's what a plea bargain is. A plea bargain is guesswork. A plea bargain is a client using guesswork because they're not sure how well their lawyer is going to help them out. Now, plea bargains are becoming more and more obsolete to criminals because criminals are being let off left and right and committing more crimes because lawyers have convinced progressive judges that this person is rehabilitated. How is it that you would kill somebody or you would stab somebody or shoot somebody and you're rehabilitated? Well, a lawyer can convince a judge of that. And it's very, very bad. Most of the people that are attacking ICE in Minneapolis have lawyers. Minneapolis, Minnesota is full of criminals that are being helped by lawyers. And it's not even the due process anymore. It's not justice. Because they're actually attacking law enforcement simply for protecting us. And that's not right. And it never will be right. So what happens there is that lawyers have helped and coached criminals to do more damage. And that's what happens when we have all of this law and order being broken down because of due process being misunderstood. Thank you for tuning in to the City Rooster Forum. Hopefully, we will be getting more pictures and more things, and I will work on clip art to make my videos more advanced. But for now, like, share, and subscribe, and be sure to tune in again.